Cabell extends a finger topped with a metal claw towards Confessor Adelbert. The divination has revealed that you stand beside the enemy, Nemesite. Speak only the truth before the Domin and the Undying One. Adelbert beats Cabell's words calmly, with almost majestic resignation. A defender of the people and a tyrant's minion are two faithful servants of opposing ideas, two souls that have rejected everything else for the sake of duty. I now truly see that your collision with him was inevitable. Tyrant. So he is referring to us as a tyrant. Yep. So he is, by that one word, admitting guilt. Adelbert shifts his gaze to you and lets out a mournful sigh. I was warned about your visit, Ignatius, as well as its purpose. Who alerted you to my visit? My son, the protector of those whose blood you feed upon, whose hard work has paid for your content life on the upper decks of this ship. I demand an explanation, Confessor, this instant. Your pet tormentor who extols death is right. I know Nemesite, and I assist him. Just like him, I am your enemy, Ignatius. Adelbert raises his voice, and in the soft tenor you hear notes of accusation as deep as rolling thunder. And I am also the enemy of your cruel regime, where life is dirt under the enforcer's feet, where a man has nothing to eat, writhes in fear, and knows no hope. I mean, I've tried to have them be less cruel. Sarbak clenches her fist until her knuckles crunch. You treasonous impostor, to think that I listened to your sermons and was anointed by your hand. You will choke on your words along with your teeth. I'm about to knock out. Adelbert dignifies her with neither a word nor a glance. And you were so good at moaning about the servants he killed. You're not even trying to lie. That is commendable. So you are a heretic then. A rebellion is a strike against the Imperium to the advantage of the enemies of humanity. Repent, for there is no fate worse than to be deprived of his light. I too desire a better life for my subjects. The path to that needs not be violent. Let us make peace and change life on the ship together. I mean, I like some of this. I do want a better life for my subject, which is why I've been trying to curb the more violent tendencies of my enforcers. Face the facts, you are no champion of justice. You are a manipulator who raises himself up by standing on the corpses of others. I am not judging you. On the contrary, I could use a man of such talents. Together we could accomplish a great deal. Ha! No. And you were so good at moaning about the servants that he killed. I grieve for them, but they were unreliable. They could have compromised us. They had to die, but the fault for their deaths lies with you and your enforcer dogs, for fear of whom we are forced to hide. You're not even trying to lie. That is commendable. Adelbert shrugs, his kindly face growing harder. Why would I? If the dogs have come looking for blood, they will not leave without a kill. Such is your vicious nature. So you are a heretic then? No. Heresy is what you and your fellow bloodsuckers believe in. The ecclesiarchy has turned faith into a whip to drive the powerless. The aristocracy has turned it into a shield to cover their transgressions, and the enforcers have turned it into a club with which to beat those who dare to raise their voices. Your faith is an instrument of lies and suppression, and I renounced it long ago. My faith promises salvation, not thraldom. So you're a heretic. Argenza's eyes flash. Betrayer of the faith, your blasphemous words will perish with you. Any rebellion is a strike against the Imperium. Definitely not this one. I feel this one somewhat. I desire a better life for my subjects, the path that need not be violent. Let's make peace and change life on the ship together. I do like that a lot, but I think I'm gonna go with this one instead. Just pointing out that fighting against the Imperium is to side with the enemies of humanity. Repent, for there's no fate worse than to be deprived of his light. I am bathed in his light as never before. You worship lies, while the true emperor desires otherwise. is for his children. It takes an effort for him to regain his composure. Your light is darkness, Ignatius, and I'm sorry you are unable to see the truth. Do you serve Nemesite or do you command him? I follow him as he once followed me. Nemesite is my son, if not by blood, then in spirit. I took him in as a willful child, and I fostered the best in him, a passion for justice, the indomitable flame of a fighter, and unyielding determination. I've been preparing him for years. So that's why Nemesite keeps reappearing. Adalbert just keeps choosing young children to raise up to be a new Nemesite later, whenever one gets killed. You have raised a living instrument that serves a purpose without question. Cabela speaks cautiously, as if not entirely sure of her judgment. Yeah, to some extent, that's how your role came about as well. Such is this purpose, to be the hope, to break the shackles, and to end the centuries of torment that have passed aboard this ship. A great sacrifice for a great cause. He falls silent, looking at Cabela expectantly. You should be familiar with his ways, except that instead of a sower of freedom, you were raised to be an executioner's sword. What else were you lying about? One last confession? Why not? He frowns and pulls back his collar as if he were short of breath. I'm not Adalbert. That was the name of an initiate from a clan of confessors who passed away from disease many years ago. I was born in squalor on the lower decks, and at the behest of the He falters as if he wanted to add something else. And it was by the Emperor's command that I took Adalbert's place, through deception, pretending to be him. The dead man had inherited much influence and many thrones from his clan, which hastened my successful rise through the ranks. But it was not for wealth or power that I did this. I accepted the burden of hard work to empower the common people, to prove the way for liberation from oppression and injustice. And my part is almost done. Cabela whispers to you. I sense no lie in his voice or bearing, Yeoman Ignatius. He feels and welcomes death with open arms. The moment favors us. We must learn more. He who betrayed his oaths will not deliver Nemesite to us, but from his words we may divine knowledge of our enemy. How did your deception go unnoticed? You were not there for those years of pestilence. Confessors attended every deck and died in multitudes. New ministers were recruited in every port. At every station, their names and faces blurred together, and we recognized our kin only by their robes. No one who knew Adalbert's true face survived that time. The Emperor saved me from being exposed. Your liberation is rooted in betrayal and bloodshed. This is a war, Ignatius. The war for our liberation, and we are willing to die and to kill for it, because our enemy is brutal and deaf to our pleas. You have deserved it. He resolutely places his hand over his heart. Sauerbach reacts to his gesture with due suspicion, sharply gripping her weapons, prepared to eliminate any threat to you. So Nemesite is just a man. Excellent. It is harder to kill a legend. Are you hoping he will save you now? Any last words, Adalbert? Yeah, Nemesite is just a man. Excellent. It's harder to kill a legend. The words of a tyrant inebriated with power and impunity. He smiles bitterly. Nemesite is an idea, and you have the arrogance to believe you can kill an idea made flesh. It is better this way, so keep underestimating him. Are you hoping he will save you now? No, we decided otherwise. I'm not worth him risking his life, so do not expect to capture him through me. My son has no attachments, for they would only make him weak. He will gladly sacrifice himself for his dream of liberty and equality, and I must do the same. I only grieve that, thanks to your efforts, I cannot be near my son and ease his burden. Attachment makes us weak, Cabela's whisper is barely audible, and you see her face grow more dismal still. You have made a weapon out of him, just as he made a weapon out of you. Any last words, Adalbert? The shackles will fall, and there's nothing left of your tyranny, nor of you. And there will be nothing left of your tyranny, nor of you. Adalbert speaks without hatred. His even voice is that of a martyr on his way to glory. Impostor Adalbert, I, rogue traitor Ignatius von Valentis, sentence you to death for treason. You're responsible for the deaths of countless people. The time has come for a reckoning. A separated family would be cruel. You and your son will see each other soon enough. Despite your crimes, I will keep you alive. Sauerbach, arrest the traitor. For Cabela, it was you who found him, therefore it is up to you to pass judgment. That is an interesting option. To pass the judgment onto her. That is very interesting. Because I could easily just send him to death. He has done more than enough to warrant it. Including not actually being Confessor Adelbert. But I think I'm going to take this option to let Cabela pass judgment, just to see what happens. Cabela takes a step forward and makes a straight, sharp, sweeping gesture, as if crossing Adelbert's figure or severing an invisible thread. Death has whispered your name, betrayer of vows. The judgment of the Undying One awaits you. You seem to have mistaken my humility in the face of death for submission. Adelbert smiles weakly. It is not for you to decide my fate. I will make the choice myself. I will surrender my life in the fight for our future. I will die, but I will take you with me. He clicks his fingers, and the initiates who have been standing humbly around turn in your direction, their white robes opening to reveal a variety of weapons. For a Nemesite, brothers and sisters, for freedom. Lord Captain, this is an ambush. They've been waiting for us. Sauerbeck shouts, hits your ears, drowning out hurried footsteps and the clanking of gun plasteel. Here's a grenade. Protect the Lord Captain. Oh, is Sauerbeck dead or just unconscious?
Your emperor won't save you.
I mean, you're claiming that you are serving the emperor, but they gave you the line of your emperor won't save you in that like chaos voice. So we've been ambushed, so we can't replace ourselves. So that's fine. We'll just start the battle here, I guess. Cassie, of course, goes first. But we've got a lot of them before it gets back to any of our people's turns. Yikes. But with no allies spread out, can we find a good place we could put Cassia where she could blast a ridiculous number of them with her lidless stare? No, not really, because we've got that wall there. What about, like, if you were here? I mean, that hits all of my allies. No, even then, you're just hitting 2. Lidless Stare is super good, so I'm hoping I can hit lots of people, but no, there's just too many nooks and crannies and walls around this place. From here, I might be able to hit these 3. No, even then, it doesn't extend quite far enough to hit that one. I guess Lidless Stare isn't going to do it. You have 275 health? Dude, you are strong, old man. 55% armor. A flamer. That's going to be a problem when we are forced to be grouped up this close. Confessor Adelbert inflicts the fiery vow effect on all his allies, excluding himself. Okay, what is the fiery vow effect? Creature's attack deals additional fire damage equal to the damage of their attacks. Yikes. Okay, we need him gone quick. Not a huge surprise. So let's see, front line. I think I'm fine with this, so we've got space in front.
Me. If you insist, Lord Captain.
For people to be around. And if this guy moves forward, we'll be covered with that. I am going to move her into some cover. Just so she's not next to this guy and his flamer. Probably something like that. Can I get Ignatius from here? I cannot. Where am I going to put my firing lines? Because we have the 2 other lines we could place. I mean, there's something to be said for doing this just to boost dodge.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
I suppose I should have moved it over one and I could have given Argenta, if she's still there, a bonus to her crits.
I am a navigator,
Turn that into a kill zone,
not a servitor.
just to increase damage. Then have you move back here. Voice of command on Ignatius.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Then
Isn't
give him
this
a free
job for the
turn,
serfs?
where he will light himself on fire. Ooh, no. Do I want to melt it? No, it doesn't go through, hit both. They're not quite lined up. That's fair then. Then we'll light ourselves on fire. And then orchestrate flames.
Suits my purposes.
And that will be our free turn done. And maybe something like this to get this guy to run away, hopefully.
Me. If you insist, Lord Captain.
There we go. And get them a little bit of damage on them. Yeah, I'm fine just leaving things as they are. It's fine. Good hit. We're all on fire, which isn't ideal.
Just a minor setback.
Oh, they just have tons of flamers.
We bring deliverance.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Okay, Cabela. I could try and get you to here. I don't want to do this. If I put you here, then why are you unequipped? That should be a great sword. But I guess we will grab the two one-handed swords. Odd. If I put you here, then I could aim for the opening. To give him a new weakness.
A dance of blades and shadows.
Then we do blade dance.
As the Phoenix demand. Let your soul be purged.
Good. We can make him hemorrhage. Then I can do raining blood. And attack. Then we can't attack with our second attack, sadly. Could move around if I saw a purpose. Cost 18 wounds to use this. Attack is parried. Parry attacks against adjacent allies. Sadly, you don't have any adjacent allies. No, I don't think I'll bother with using that. And I don't feel the need to do death from above. So we'll just stay here.
Only the faithful will ascend.
I'm cool if they keep lighting themselves on fire.
The true believers will inherit all. The Sire's song.
Our Gent is getting pretty beat up, unfortunately.
I've suffered worse.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Alright. Let's see. So, enemy level. We've got Aelbert is a 4. Initiate Zeke is a 3. And Rebel Sharpshooter is also a 3. So we'll mark those 3 as our prey.
Doubt is for the weak.
So you, Sharpshooter, and Initiate Zeke, wherever he is. I think he usually hangs out over here. No? Was he the one that is over here? I guess I don't know where Initiate Zeke is. Initiate Zeke. Where are you? Oh, you're right here. Okay.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Okay. You 3 are prey. So if we do Cold the Bold, our next attack is even better. I don't think there's any benefit to using the 2 action option. 30 to 37 versus 30 to 37.
I'll do it.
Good. Claim the bounty on him, I suppose.
The Emperor commands, I act.
Another solid hit. We could run and gun to get another attack going.
Doubt is for the weak.
And then Furious Recital to give us a bunch more momentum. Good. Not bad.
We bring deliverance.
Good dodges and parries. Cassie is holding her own.
It's the will of chaos.
Yep. All of you just keep lighting yourselves on fire. Because I am going to do lots of extra damage from that.
Crush the feeble.
That was insulting!
Only the faithful will ascend.
Cassie is still taking no damage because she's just masterfully dodging everything. So I could have him try and protect Cassia with Forced Distraction or Ignatius. I'm kind of tempted to go with using both of these. What is defensive stance? So we could use both of these. That's 2 AP. Charge would be 4 AP and then a swing. But then we don't get Endure. So probably should only use one of these. So we'll use Reckless Strike.
At your beck and call.
Then we charge the Confessor.
It will be done.
And then So we only inflict bleeding specifically if we choose this one, which costs 2 AP. I thought the axe just always did bleeding. At least that's what it looked like. But no, we'll save the AP so I can do endure.
Victory is an exemplary strike.
That was a good strike. And then endure.
My ears are ringing.
High momentum.
All the fire. Alright, Pascal. What to do about you? I'm definitely considering using his big area attack. Seeing if I can line up into a spot where I can hit the most. I think we can only just hit these two, which is fine. So if we go here, and then we do where it hurts, so they take extra damage for their ongoing damage types, in this case fire. No, because it's only going to do 2 and then it puts it out. So it'll do 3 stacks of 2 damage. And I'd rather keep them on fire. Okay, we can penalize everyone nearby as damage over time effects. That seems useful. So, undo your movement, go away that. Stay where you are, we'll do this. Pain resonance. So you guys take a bit more damage and also you're slowed because you're on fire. Then we can move you forward. And hit for a ton of damage. Let's see. Use this to boost us and penalize them. It's generally good. And that looks like the end of your turn. Could use this. Until the end of combat, all damage dealt to enemies by damage over time effects is increased by 100% after all of the modifiers. But how soon do we get to Cassia's turn? No, we're basically at Cassia's turn. And I want her to have the option to give a turn to Ignatius, because that's going to be really good for him to get lots to do. So we'll just end Pascal's turn here. Ignatius, you are kind of on fire. Let's... I was thinking just pull back some, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll move you back to here. It's a bit of a safer location. All burning effects do 22 more damage. I think that would kill several of my party members, unfortunately. If I did orchestrate flames on, say, Argenta, who is the most hurt. No. They suffer half burning damage. I mean, that's something. I don't know. Thing is, I'm wanting to do Inflame, but I think Argenta is going to immediately take like 28 damage and die. So I think I have to do Orchestrate Flames first on her so that she takes half damage, even though she's going to immediately take... no, she doesn't immediately take damage. Problem is, this mainly exists to benefit allies, melee allies. And she's not melee.
Not a problem for me.
So you'll stay on fire. Then we'll do Inflame. You'll take half damage. Please don't die.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Okay. The Confessor died, I think. So that's good. Then we inflame on maybe this one attacking Cassia.
Suits my
I
purposes.
suppose I should have inflamed first before we did that, just so these other people would have gotten hit too.
Nothing I can't do.
Run and gun. Let's see. I want to hit you, but you're out of sight. I'm gonna have to go like in this line in order to get vision on you. Though arguably that means he only has vision on a couple of us. Let's step forward to here. And then I could hit him.
Suits my purposes.
Yeah, I know. We're catching ourselves on fire. It's fine. End our turn there. Sadly. Now Cassia. Give me another turn, please.
I'll paint your death in colors.
Perfect. Now who else is extremely healthy still? Or I guess who is not on fire?
Nothing I can't do.
I'll light you on fire. You're not on fire yet. Trying to see who has lots of health that's still... Wow, you are only taking 7 to 11 damage? That is crazy. Can't see you. I guess let's light you on fire. Just spread the fire all around. Could hit you. You are just not that scary. Same with you. Like, the people I might just kill on a single hit feel like there's not a ton of point.
Nothing I can't do. You didn't stand a chance.
My momentum's back. Nice. We'll hit you.
Nothing of value has been lost.
Yeah, we've now maxed out momentum. So if I move forward, can I get to a point where I can see some of these other people? No. Even you down there? It's probably a spot where I can see you. Maybe. Just trying to light everyone on fire. Spread the joy, you know? Well, it looks like I can't get these guys quite yet. Actually, maybe I can. We use this. Then we can run and gun.
All too easy.
So then I can move somewhere like this. There we go. Now I could hit you or you two. Can't quite get to you, but you only have 32 health. Not really scared of the 32 health guys. Oh well, we'll hit you. Then we'll hit you.
Nothing I can't do.
And now that everyone is on fire, I think we'll do another Inflame and hope that it doesn't kill Argenta. But if it does, oh well. It'll probably kill a ton of other people too, and so it's worth it.
Become like fire.
I could just make another attack this turn. Sure.
My time is now.
I move forward a square. Can I then get to you as well? I can now.
Not a problem for me.
Let's light you on fire too. And then orchestrate flames on Abelard. No, on Cabela. Whoever I use it on, they get to do additional fire damage with their attacks. I don't think Cabela is going to last to her turn, so I'm going to put it on Abelard. It would reduce the damage she takes, which is very tempting. But she only has 10 health left. Even if I had her take half damage from the fire, it still kills her. Unless someone can heal her before her turn. So Abelard, you'll get additional fire damage on your melee attacks. That's the end of Ignatius's free turn. Alright. What do we do with you, Cassia? You could give someone else a free turn. Bring it down on Ignatius again. Ah, it's tempting. It's just too powerful to not.
Nothing I can't do.
Just grab Rebel and Slaughter. I guess that uses an AP, so I probably shouldn't waste it. Who has a turn soon? Oh yeah, Zeke. Should probably put more focus on finishing you off. And again.
Suits my purposes.
Wow. We are rolling well. Because we keep not expending the AP. So let's finish off Zeke.
Didn't stand a chance.
Alright. That ended our turn. I guess I can move if I had reason to. It's fine. Back to Castia's turn. Let's try and give a bonus, if you can, to some of our really injured people. This will give you an attack of opportunity, which I'm not thrilled by. But the bonuses, I think, should give her a little bit more toughness and maybe some health, which might let her live.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Okay, good dodge. So she might live. That doesn't hit any of my allies. Barely.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? Duty demands.
Nice.
Protect the fallen.
Yeah, Argenta and Cabela went down. Not terribly surprised. Disappointed, but
Just a minor setback.
that's what happens when you have lots of fire kicking around. Alright. Enemy-wise, looks like everyone up there is dealt with. We just have 3 enemies left. You 2 and this one. I guess if we moved you forward, you could then charge.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
There. Not a lot else that you can do.
I will do my duty.
Endure. And then force distraction. No, they're not even close enough to attack Ignatius. Yeah, not really anything else you can do. So end your turn. Pascal could get over here and take out this guy. So I guess you shall. I mean, there's no need to use this ability, but I'm going to anyway. Where it hurts, so he takes additional damage from his fire. And then he super dies.
Request approved.
That on him, as well as joint analysis, which means allies can benefit from it. And now it's Ignatius's turn. Because of course it is.
Nothing I can't do. Nothing of value has been lost.
Okay, she's still alive. The battle is over, and silence descends once again upon the chapel. Flakes of ash whirl quietly in the air before coming to rest on the blood trickling slowly across the floor. You ought to see this, Dome Ignatius. Cabela leans over the Confessor's body and slices off the edge of his collar with her blade, revealing a tiny scar on the back of his neck. It looks just like the one the captured worker in the plasma drives chamber had, except this one clearly healed a long time ago. So he was connected to the genetic aberration as well. Delightful. We now know much more about the enemy. Cabela ponderously runs her finger along the flat of the blade, about how deep the poison of conspiracy runs within the veins of your ship. But the blunt web has wrapped itself around the bays too tightly, and Nemesite can no longer hope to escape. Ruminations are interrupted by a furious hiss. Sourback snarls a curse through her teeth and spits at Adelbert's smoking remains. Her left arm hangs limp and her face is mangled by shrapnel. Lord Captain, we have a prisoner. She points her weapon at the man standing hunched over in pain. Permission to finish off the cur. Down with the tyrant. The broad-shouldered initiate who calls himself Zeke clutches a deep wound, glaring at you with hatred. Address Zeke, I have questions for you, traitor. I doubt you'll like the answers. Were you serving Nemesite for a cause or simply for money? Zeke flashes you a bloody grin. He promised us freedom. Where's Nemesite's hideout? Even the Confessor didn't know where it is. He was afraid of spies, or of giving his son's secrets away under torture. You see, you can't get to our champion. Are there any other senior officers helping you? Officers? Ha! There's no one else among them who is pure. They only care about power and gorging themselves on the scraps you throw them, or else they would have long since turned against you. Zeke can barely finish a sentence before he is beset by a torrent of gurgling coughs. How many more of you mutineers are hiding on my ship? I want to know your names. I want to know where you meet, everything. The Confessor said every compartment has people who fight for our cause. They promised to take me into the circle of our most devoted believers. Then I would know. But even then, I would tell you nothing, not even under torture. Alright, I've learned all I need. The initiate only looks at you sullenly. They were waiting for us. It was a trap. Yes, Lord Captain. Adelbert had been warned, yet he chose not to flee. Instead, he stayed behind to set a trap for us. Did he really believe that this madness would succeed and he would somehow survive? He did not want to survive. His only hope was to kill. Nemesis managed to turn his adoptive father into a blade pointed squarely at the Domin's throat, just as Adelbert himself had once turned Nemesis into a weapon. Neither of them feared death. That devious, mind-twisting beast. Sarbeck frowns with worry. I have been going through my predecessor's archive recently, and I may have an idea as to what manner of creature this Nemesis is. We are dealing with a Kellermorph, a special variety of mutant filth in service of genetic cults. These creatures are made and raised to play the part of the people's leader, an inspiration for the mutinous rabble. A Kellermorph's purpose is to sow disorder and use the rebellion to eliminate the ruling elite, those who might be capable of opposing the Xenos. Nod at Zeke. Now let's decide what to do with our surviving traitor. Do not kill him in vain, Cabela shakes her head. Those who follow the tenets of the web know that. Just as we serve death, so too does it serve us. Allow the death of this man to become an instrument in your hands, Domin Ignatius. Pass off the traitor's body as that of Nemesis. Instill fear in his supporters. The enemy will be forced to act to undo this deception, exposing himself in the process. What would that accomplish? All warriors fight for something, be it fame, life, wealth, or their loved ones. Nemesis cares nothing for these things. He sacrifices his kin, scorns glory, and amasses no riches. I'm sure he would gladly give up his own life, if necessary. Nemesis fights for an idea, and so that is where we must strike. Make his idea bleed, and he will be obliged to respond, and whoever is forced to react instead of acting dies. We can do as Cabela proposes. Enough blood has been spilt. I hereby pardon this deluded fool to show the rest of the vessel that I'm not the monster that Nemesis paints me to be. No, if Nemesis is in fact a Xeno gene cult member here specifically to stir up trouble, letting one guy go free is not going to be enough to convince the people that he has been controlling. Sarbeck, get him an escort so that he may tell the lower decks that Nemesis is a liar and a scoundrel. You'll persuade him to be eloquent, will you not? No, we'll do what Cabela proposes. Her plan seems reasonable. We will make certain that the lower deckers believe their hero to be dead. We will leave the body to hang for a good long while, that the hopes of the mutineers may rot along with the corpse. That is one traitor dealt with, Lord Captain, but how many more have been poisoned by the false Confessor's heresy? A new spiritual shepherd must be appointed quickly to banish any mutinous thoughts sown by the traitor from the minds of the crew and to strengthen their faith and obedience. Without the ship's Confessor, the rabble will begin to whisper that the Emperor has forsaken us, and such doubts will only play into the rebels' hands. The creed must be strictly observed aboard the vessel. Since the Voidsmen are wavering in faith, let the High Factotum find a true servant of the ecclesiarchy elsewhere. It's a good call. Appoint a loyal crew member who is known for the strength of their faith, someone the children of the Void will recognize as their own. We do not want any outsiders. No. I trust the Bloodspun Web and grant the cult the honor of guiding the congregation aboard my ship. No, that's... I think the Bloodspun Web is good for what it does, but being our main church congregation voice, whatever, I think would turn out poorly. I think we have the High Factotum find someone abroad, since we don't know who we can trust. As you command, I will order the chapel to be restored as well. We gain the ability Righteous Fervor. Attack crafts and torpedoes gain +2 void movement points. The prayers of Confessor Arabella have roused the crew to purge any and all foes of the God Emperor and service the weapons of his wrath with exemplary rigor. So I assume our new Confessor is named Arabella when they arrive. I will send agents to every deck. The next time Nemesis rears his head, which I'm certain will happen sooner rather than later, we will be one step ahead of him and not the other way around. Wait for the Enforcer's report. Sarbeck staggers away, and your gaze turns to the motionless Cabela, staring at her own reflection within a pool of blood. Is something wrong? I'm thinking about Nemesis, my adversary. The more I learn about him, the more I see a vague reflection of myself. A twisted reflection, perhaps. but all too familiar. Like me, he was forced to tread the path of servitude from an early age, stripped of anything that might stand in the way of duty. A champion and a zealot, left with nothing but an idea, forged and tempered by his mentor. To equate a true servant of the God Emperor with this apostate is a heresy unto itself. Somewhat true. You're different, he is a murderer, but you understand the true value of human death. Also good. You are indeed alike, but it is up to you to prove before the God Emperor's gaze that the tenets of the web are stronger than whatever Nemesite believes in. Yes, you both have been brainwashed. Stop looking for omens and try to use your own judgment instead. It's not my place to judge. I think trying to just say, no, you're wrong, you are fine, and he was a murderer, feels off. I like the idea of agreeing, like, yeah, there are similarities in your positions, but it's the differences that make all the difference. Do I say you are indeed alike? Because I want to focus on, yes, there are similarities, but there are differences. And this one just feels like you are alike, but you value something stronger and better. So I think I'm going to go with 2 instead. You are different. He is a murderer, but you understand the true value of human death. This is true. Like a puppeteer, he pulls at the threads of others, people's destinies, tangling and severing them. When I cut these threads, it is only the Undying One's commands. With timely precision, I must stop Nemesite so that I might save your subjects from premature death. She looks away, then turns back to you as if remembering something. Dom Ignatius, our conversation is not yet over. Please, stay with me for a few minutes. There is something I want to ask. Cabela makes a ritual gesture, but you notice her fingers tremble. Dom Ignatius, you need to know about what happened. You and no one else. During the divination that revealed Adelbert's betrayal to me, my trance was interrupted. Instead of converging on a single point, my thoughts were thrown off the intended path, and I lost my thread. She looks up at you with distress in her eyes. What distracted me were thoughts of you. You were thinking about me. I didn't mean to complicate your ritual. Smirk. That is quite the confession. You have submitted to an opponent who didn't even land a single blow. How does it feel? Or listen in silence. You were thinking about me. She nods. Your image intruded upon my mind when it was supposed to act as a blade seeking its target. When all of my being was focused on fulfilling my duty, my trance was broken, and I committed an offense against the Undying One. I was able to restore my trance and banish all thoughts that didn't belong, but that this happened at all is still worrying. She pauses. You are dear to me, more so than I first realized, but my duty is to serve the Undying One. What if... She falters, then looks at you intently. What if your presence in my mind, in my labyrinth, goes against the tenets? I doubt the God Emperor forbids our bond. Thinking about someone you hold dear is perfectly normal. Why are you so distraught? Can't you reserve even one small part of your life to yourself? She probably doesn't think so. Thinking about someone you hold dear is perfectly normal. You don't understand. It may be normal for lay people, but not within the blood-spun web, not for me. If I lose control of what makes me a faultless weapon, then what will be left of me? Dom Ignatius, our fates are connected. We walk the same labyrinth. Tell me, what would you do if your mind's worries were to dull your resolve and mar your spirit? Continue doing my duty. I would accept that the appearance of someone important in my life was bound to throw things into a bit of disarray. I refuse to answer the question. I'm tired of your woes. There won't be anything to distract you anymore because you and I are done. No. Like, you can still do your duty. What would you do if your mind's worries were to dull your resolve and mar your spirit? Continue doing your duty. I mean, yes, having someone important in your life is going to throw things in a bit of disarray, but keep doing your duty. Cabela nods, though somewhat uncertain. Of course, it would be strange to expect you to say otherwise, Dom Ignatius. Like in the same way that our duty is to be a rogue trader. That's the will of the God Emperor. But we can do that while still pursuing personal goals. While still being a person and human, not just mechanically, robotically doing a very strict set of things. Kibela gives you a look of painful doubt and tenderness. Enough. Let us go back. Before she turns to leave, her fingers wrap around your hand and squeeze it passionately. Let's do some looting, I guess. Fiery Retribution. It is a two-handed flamer. Much bigger area of effect. Still says the range is 5. And I suppose that's true, maximum of 10. But it shows that flamer shot being significantly larger. Does 10 burning damage. Yeah, this is something I might actually want to have someone use. When I keep talking about how a flamer would be nice, and they just keep giving me these tiny flamers, and I'm like, well, no, not that. A great sword. We'll have to see how that compares to the great sword Kibela is apparently no longer holding. I don't need the heavy rock saw. I guess put that over there. Power pick? Probably not. Webbers? No. Casing chest plate. I might look into some of those. For maybe Abelard. Actually, can we compare it to him? No. Okay. Thought it was decent armor, but nope. Heavy leather armor is still not as good. And we will keep the fire grenade. Let's collect all of that. We go to weapons. Bella, I have no idea where your greatsword went. Why is sort from newest not putting that new greatsword we just got here? I think this is the one she's been using. Not sure why it's not currently equipped. There we go. That's our two-handed weapon. So now we can compare it to this new greatsword. No, they're just showing me those two. Here we go. No. Compared to this one. 17 to 20. 14 to 20. This does bleed damage, which is nice for her build. On a critical hit, the sword inflicts +1 stack of the laceration effect. For each stack of laceration, all attacks of this sword against the same target deal 10% more damage. Ooh. -10 enemy weapon skill when hit. Yeah, I think I will take this. And then if we go to Argenta, do I want you to use... Fire Retribution? You can't. Requires strength 50. And you are nowhere near. Is there anyone who does have strength 50? Okay, Abelard. So we could theoretically give it to Abelard if we gave him flame training. Probably not. Alright. So be it. Anything else here to loot? Yes. Another fire grenade. think we need that. What are you? Enemy finder. If the target of the wearer's ranged attack fails a toughness resistance test with a -10 penalty, that attack inflicts exhaustion on the target. What is exhaustion? The next successful attack against this character will score a critical hit. Ooh. Definitely want to give that to some of our ranged characters.
I won't tolerate weakness.
We're definitely super over time. That's fine. The Aquila Anima, a fragment of the Cathedral of Eternal Redemption brought from the Shrine of World of Solace 6, now lost. The reliquary had been ransacked and the sacred ashes of past road traders and their servants stolen. Is this us praying at the altar, even though the altar is gone? Yes. You recite a prayer, the one you remember best. At some point, we'll need to come back here and meet the new Confessor. But for now, let's go back to the bridge. So we need to heal up from our injuries. Okay, but I think this is where we will end the episode, or end the stream. Next time we will continue on. Maybe we'll talk to Cabela next time just to see if she has anything further to say. Otherwise, we're going to go back to the Koronus Expanse map and just keep making our way slowly around the Koronus Expanse. But we'll leave that for then. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week when we continue. Bye.